The stage of America's Got Talent shimmered beneath blinding lights as a shy 13-year-old from County Durham stepped forward. When America's Got Talent introduced Courtney Hadwin to millions in 2018, few expected what would follow. Her nervous smile and quiet demeanor seemed to signal stage fright. Then the music began. Otis Redding's Hard to Handle. In seconds, hesitation transformed into electric confidence. Her voice burst forward with a raspy, soulful power that felt decades older than her years. Judges leaned in. The audience erupted. Even Simon Cowell, famous for his guarded reactions, appeared stunned. By the final note, the room understood. This was not an ordinary audition. It was a cultural moment. Courtney Hadwin had arrived, and the world was watching the rise of a young artist whose talent seemed far beyond her age. Roots in a quiet village. Long before international fame, Courtney's story began in Hesleden, a modest former mining village near Hartlepool in northeast England. Born on July 6, 2004, she grew up in a tight-knit community where life moved at a steady, familiar pace. Her parents, Paul and Anne-Marie, nurtured a household filled with music, encouraging creativity and self-expression. Unlike many young performers groomed for the spotlight from infancy, Courtney's beginnings were simple. She sang at home, mimicking songs from the radio and experimenting with tone and phrasing. Music was not yet a career ambition. It was pure joy. Her siblings listened as she belted classics with surprising depth. In a place where opportunities for stardom seemed distant, her dream quietly took shape. The quiet streets of Hesleden became the unlikely foundation for a voice that would soon echo across continents. A spark, of inspiration, Courtney's ambition sharpened after watching Britain's Got Talent and seeing young performers command massive stages. One particular inspiration was Connie Talbot, whose poised performances convinced Courtney that age need not limit possibility. If another child could stand before millions and sing with confidence, why couldn't she? Determined, Courtney began studying vocal technique more seriously around age 9. She analyzed phrasing, emotion, and delivery, listening repeatedly to soul and rock legends. Practice became routine rather than pastime. Teachers noticed her growing confidence during school performances at Hesleden Primary and later Shotton Hall Academy. Each small stage strengthened her resolve. What began as admiration evolved into ambition. Courtney no longer simply loved to sing. She envisioned herself on stages far larger than her village could offer. Early performances and growing confidence. One lunchtime open mic would quietly shift everything. Courtney performed Say Something before classmates, delivering it with emotional intensity that stunned listeners. A recording circulated online, gaining unexpected local attention. Encouraged by teachers and neighbors, she pursued more opportunities. Busking in nearby towns, she sang for passing crowds, learning resilience and stage presence in real time. The modest coin she earned funded lessons and competition entries. She trained at regional music schools, refining breath control and projection, while preserving her raw edge. By 2015, she competed in Teen Star UK, performing Bob Dylan's Make You Feel My Love, reaching the grand final. Recognition followed, including local awards that affirmed her growing reputation. Each event strengthened her belief that her voice could travel beyond county lines. The shy girl from Hesleden was steadily transforming into a serious young performer. Stepping on to national television. In 2017, Courtney entered The Voice Kids UK, performing Tina Turner's Nutbush City Limits. The audition showcased not only vocal strength, but fearless stage movement reminiscent of classic rock icons. She joined the team of Danny Jones and advanced to the finals, gaining nationwide recognition. Viewers were captivated by her mature tone and unpredictable energy. Though she did not win, the exposure broadened her audience significantly. Industry professionals began to take note. The experience also introduced Courtney to the pressures of televised competition, the interviews, rehearsals, and public scrutiny. Yet she handled it with determination. The stage felt natural, the attention less so. Still, she proved she could command major platforms. Her journey was accelerating, and an even larger opportunity loomed just ahead. The audition heard around the world. When Courtney appeared on America's Got Talent in 2018, she seemed almost swallowed by the massive stage. Her soft-spoken introduction contrasted sharply with what followed. As soon as she launched into hard-to-handle, comparisons to Janis Joplin flooded social media. Judge Howie Mandel was so moved that he pressed the golden buzzer, sending her straight to the live shows. The moment triggered a cascade of golden confetti and roaring applause. Within days, her audition video amassed hundreds of millions of views online. Commentators praised her as a once-in-a-generation talent. Even Simon Cowell admitted he had not expected such a transformation from timid introduction to explosive performance. That single audition propelled her from promising UK singer to international sensation virtually overnight. Fame, finals, and global recognition. Courtney advanced through quarterfinals and semi-finals, performing with unwavering intensity. By the finals, she had cultivated a passionate global fan base. Although she ultimately finished 6th, the ranking mattered little. The exposure was transformative. Invitations poured in for interviews and appearances worldwide. Media outlets dubbed her the British teen with the soul of a rock legend. Shortly afterward, Simon Cowell signed her to Psycho Music in partnership with Arista Records, formalizing her entry into the professional music industry. For a 13-year-old, it was a life-altering achievement. Yet, with the contract came intense expectations. Success had arrived rapidly, and maintaining it would require navigating an adult world of schedules, branding, and relentless public visibility. Stepping back to reclaim identity, gradually public appearances decreased. Social media updates grew infrequent. Fans speculated about her absence, unaware that she was intentionally stepping back to protect her well-being. Rather than burnout defining her path, she chose pause over pressure. Time away allowed reflection on artistry, direction, and personal growth. She was not disappearing, she was recalibrating. The music industry often rewards constant visibility, but longevity requires balance. By retreating from the spotlight, Courtney safeguarded her passion. She began exploring creative control, writing and experimenting without immediate commercial demands. Distance from relentless schedules offered breathing room. In reclaiming privacy, she regained perspective. The decision demonstrated maturity beyond her years, proving that strength sometimes lies not in performing louder, but in knowing when to step back. A story still being written, Courtney Hadwin's journey illustrates both the exhilaration and cost of early fame. From a quiet village in County Durham to a global stage, her ascent was meteoric. Her voice, raw, powerful, unmistakable, captured hearts worldwide. Yet her story also highlights the human reality behind talent show triumphs. Growth takes time, especially for artists navigating adolescence under intense scrutiny. Today, she continues evolving, shaping her career on her own terms. The girl who once stunned millions remains an artist with vast potential ahead. Fame may have arrived suddenly, but resilience sustains longevity. Courtney's narrative is not about fading away, it is about finding balance between ambition and authenticity. The world first saw her as a prodigy. What comes next will reveal the artist she chooses to become.